These dupe brands sometimes do it just as good as the original, if not better. Welcome everyone, my name is Dalen. Please hit that subscribe button, like the video, hit that bell icon, and let's get into our list. Number 1 on our list, we have Hawas Malibu. This is duping that JPG Le Beau Le Parfum. Now, I have smelled the original and I can say that that added coconut in there, honestly, I can't stand it. It gives me a headache. Something about it it doesn't sit well with me. But I feel like Hawas kind of fixed that. They took that coconut out. They still kept the majority of the DNA, so it is fresh, it is citrusy, it's ambery, but it's also kind of fruity. And it comes together in a very nice tropical vibe, perfect for the heat, spring, summertime. You're going on vacation, you're going to a resort, to the beach. Hawas Malibu is very, very good. Very fruity, very ambery, very sweet. Just thank goodness they took out that coconut. Longevity is solid, 7 to 8 hour mark. This is a really good release from them. Not my favorite DNAs in the world, but I think it's a lot better than the original. Aquatica is going after that Creed Virgin Island water DNA. So this one has this beautiful lime note, very, very tart. But then in the dry down, you get this sweetness that starts to come out, and then you get this creaminess from the coconut. I think the best way to describe this one is like a sweet, fresh, somewhat tart Italian gelato. Very creamy, very nice. It's incredibly uplifting. Longevity is way better than the original. So this one, I'm getting a solid 5 to 6 hours, whereas the original is closer to that 3 to 4 hour mark. So I would definitely say that this one outperforms the original, and price-wise, this one was about $50 Canadian, and I think the original is hundreds of dollars. Just a nice poolside resort drink. Very uplifting, very refreshing. This one is a dupe of that Bleu de Chanel L'Exclusive DNA. Now, I love Bleu de Chanel L'Exclusive. It is a more masculine take on that overly fresh blue kind of DNA that the originals have, like the EDP. And this one actually does a pretty good job. Now, there are several dupes of that DNA out, from Season's Drift to Rayhan Nocturnal Elixir, I think, and then Icon. Now, I love all of them, but all of them are slightly different. They're not the exact same. Season's Drift is what I started with, and I really like it, but this one still has that amber, it still has that sweetness, but this one has some incense, some suede in there. It's a little bit darker, a little more masculine in the opening, but I feel like in the dry down, it does get pretty close to the other ones. But yes, I would say that Icon is really solid, about 7 hours of longevity. Now, I say that it's better than the original based on price alone. I just think that Bleu de Chanel Exclusive, especially that limited release that they had, which is like, I think like a 200 ml or something like that, being as expensive as it is, I think that Icon is the way to go, or any of the other dupes to get in that wheelhouse. I'd say about 85 to 90% close, but Kadage Icon is a really solid release, and I do like Kadage's stuff, so this one, let's get added to the list. Oh, and if you're interested in any of these, I'm gonna have links down in the description. Also, you can get decants of any of these on my website, sprayandpraydecants.ca. Next, we have Latafa Habic. Now, some people absolutely hate this. I actually really like it. I think that it is a really nice, spicy wintertime DNA. Incredibly masculine, very unique DNA. Now, this is a dupe of JPG's Le Male Essence, and that is a discontinued fragrance. So this is absolutely better than the original because the original no longer exists. Now, it's not a 1-to-1, but it gets pretty close in that same wheelhouse. I would say into that 80 to 85% territory. At least that's what I've heard from other creators, because the original is no longer existent, but I've heard that this one does get into that wheelhouse. Now, I love this DNA. I think the bottle is fantastic, as my wife calls it, the Vecna bottle, because it is very different, very unique, very goth look. But the scent profile is where this one really shines. It's very, very spicy. It has cardamom in there. I think it has maybe a little bit of leather. I'm not sure, but it's very, very masculine, kind of sweet, spicy, peppery almost. Very, very nice DNA. If you love Le Male Essence, this is gonna be great. And as far as longevity goes, I'm getting about 8 hours or so, where I'm still smelling those spices come up. So great longevity on this one. I think this is a really solid release from Latafa for a fragrance that you can no longer find. Next, we have Kadage Shiyaka. Now, this is the original Shiyaka and one that I really didn't know about until I found it, and it was incredibly cheap. I think it was like 35 Canadian dollars on Perfume Online. So really, really cheap, but this is an absolute gorgeous scent. For all the people that love Reflection Man by Amouage DNA, this is a very accurate clone to it, and honestly, probably the best value dupe on this list, just based on the price point alone, because Amouage Reflection Man is not cheap. You get this beautiful rosemary, you get the florals in there, it's almost creamy, and the longevity on this is fantastic. I would say pushing upwards into that 9 to 10 hour territory, which is very, very good. So more than a full day's use, more than a full work day. Yes, I love Reflection Man, Reflection Man 45, Gucci Guilty Elixir, like all those kind of DNAs where it's kind of taking those floral notes, adding a little bit of masculinity, but it's a little bit sweet, just a very unique combination of notes. The scent profile, that's where this one really, really shines. So if you're looking for a really high quality take on Reflection Man, I would absolutely recommend Kadage Shiyaka. I don't think it gets enough love. Very underrated, great take on the DNA, great longevity, and for the price point, this is the best value dupe on this table. Next, we have Joe Milano Game of Spades Wildcard. This is probably my favorite from the lineup. Well, that's because I don't own any currently, but when I tested this one, I absolutely knew that I needed it because this gives off sophisticated, rich, but elegant vibes. This is going after bottle number 9, Lafayette Street. And Lafayette Street is a gorgeous DNA. Really, really like that one. But this one is, well, like a fifth of the price. And I think the longevity is better than the original. It's sweet, it's floral, but it's also incredibly clean. So if you like YSL Myself, you kind of like that clean dryer sheets vibe. That's what this is sort of, but it also has these very sweet floral notes in there that is just elegant and uplifting, just super, super nice. You smell like a man who's elegant, rich, and sophisticated. This is a beautiful DNA. Longevity is fantastic, 8 hours plus. I can't say enough good things about this one. This is a staple in my collection and absolutely a daily driver. Next, we have one of the most popular fragrance brands, incredibly hyped up, and that is Velixir. And this one is Icorus. Now, if you've heard about this one, you know that the hype is very much so there. And I would say that it is justified. This is one of the most beautiful takes on Blue Talisman that I have ever smelt, and I've smelt quite a few different takes on it. This one is fantastic, and from what I've heard from other people who own Blue Talisman, this is the best, most accurate take on it on the market by far. This one has fantastic longevity and projection. I am getting 7+ hours, really, really good. Sticks onto my clothes really well, sticks onto my skin. That beautiful musky pear note, slightly woody, a little bit of like florals in there. This is just a gorgeous, gorgeous scent profile. Ex Nihilo did a great job, but I think Velixir did it better because when you factor in the price, this is a no-brainer. Thankfully, Velixir is now coming to Beauty House. So if you're interested in picking this one up, trying it out, I'm gonna have decants on my site, but you can also check out Beauty House because they are the first in North America to really have it and readily available. So Icarus, the best take on Blue Talisman. Next, we have Kadage's Intoxicate Mystique. This is Prada Paradigm for a fraction of the price. Prada Paradigm is a very nice scent profile. It's a designer scent profile, but a lot of people call it boring. Now, in the fragrance community, boring usually means that it's versatile. It works for everybody. And I think a lot of people call it that because it doesn't have that niche or extra oomph in it, which is fine because this DNA just works for anybody. This is a great school scent. This is a great office scent. This is a great daily driver. Very interesting. It almost has like this, like I know there is like a balsamic note in it. Kind of reminds me of like balsamic vinegar slightly in the opening, but then it changes and it just becomes this very fresh kind of aromatic, uplifting DNA. Really solid longevity, about 6 to 7 hours. But yeah, this is a fraction of the price when Prada Paradigm is like reaching upwards into like 200 Canadian with their new release. I wouldn't pay that when you can get similar to that DNA for really, really cheap. I think Kadage absolutely nailed this DNA. Boring, maybe to some, but it just works. Next, we have Sama by Nusuk. Now, this is going after Pacific Rock Moss. It is a very, very nice summer fragrance. Very refreshing, tart, fresh, zesty kind of citrus, and then you get a mossy dry down. But I would say this is just like a fantastic gym wear fragrance, easy to wear, high heat. This is just very, very refreshing. Honestly, I spray this one a ton at the gym. Very, very clean. It's not going to be too offensive. It isn't going to have the craziest longevity. I think somewhere in that 5 to 6 hour range. Nothing crazy, but the original is worse than that. So you can pick this up for a fraction of the price and you get slightly better longevity. So I'm gonna take this and just overspray when I need to. Lastly, we have Mykonos Reflection Elixir. This is the most incredible take on Louis Vuitton's Symphony that I've smelt, and I've smelt quite a few of them. This one is absolutely gorgeous. It's the highest quality. They do have their regular reflection, but a reflection elixir, there's something about it that just takes it to another level. Maybe it's a little more floral, but it has this citrus, it has the grapefruit. It's almost like this sparkling, uplifting, musky vibe that is just the perfect scent profile for an everyday wear. Now, it does lean a little bit unisex. Maybe some people might think it's a little feminine, but to me, I think it's perfectly unisex and I have absolutely no problem wearing it as a daily fragrance. I've already put a significant dent into it because I wear this one so much. Kadage Island Dreams is good, but this is better. Here you have it. These are 10 dupes that I'm taking over the original, whether it's price, extra longevity, being able to find them, or they just get so close to the DNA that there's really no reason to pay the extra for the original. These are all fantastic. If you're interested in any of these, I'm gonna have links down in the description. If you want to sample any of these, I'm going to have decants available at sprayandpraydecants.ca so you can try them before committing to a full bottle. Now, with that, please give this video a like, subscribe to the channel if you aren't already, and we'll see you guys in the next video.